Okay, well, welcome back to Black Swan Outdoors, and welcome to the homestead. Today's video, we're going to talk about the emergency service pack, or 72-hour bag, as it's often referred to. In this context, we are talking about preparing a response kit for any kind of an emergency. This particular video, we're putting together what we're calling a service pack, or a 72-hour pack. A pack that's going to help an individual be able to respond to an emergency that goes a little bit beyond the 12 or 24 hours of the previous pack or go bag that we talked about in the other video. So in this video today, the whole intent is additional items that you can use, add, and swap to your initial go bag, or you can take your go bag and use that as a foundation for a longer term situation. And so the pack that we are using for this kit is the 511 72-hour pack. I find this pack to be big enough to carry everything that you would need. Certainly everything that's on the table here does not fill the pack, and that's intentional. I want to be able to leave room in this pack so that I could add everything that was in my go bag to this pack, plus additional items like clothing or more food. So I want plenty of extra room in a pack. I really like this pack. I've used it for both international travel in the developing world and the developed world. It has worked really well on the trail and obviously off the trail. Works great for road trips. It works great for camping, overnight trips even. It's a robust pack, and it has lots of pockets and places where you can kind of stash things to make things very easy and accessible. In this style pack, unlike my wilderness packs or my hiking packs, I like a clamshell design. That gives me the ability to open up my bag and get to what I need very quickly. Unlike on the trail, I like to have a top-down bag where everything is nicely safe and contained. So in this particular bag, I like to have quick access to what I have. So when I pack my gear, I think about how I'm going to use that gear and when I'm going to need it, and then I pack it appropriately in the right location so that I can have quick access to it. So inside the bag, its primary function is to go beyond that regular 24 hours or 12 hours of time and exposure and into that 72-hour range. So an overnight, whether it be expected or unexpected. So we have the wet wipes, toothpaste, toothbrush. In addition to that is baking soda, which could be used as a toothpaste as well as freshening up your shoes. Comb, Dr. Bonner's Castile soap. This is great for washing your clothes and washing yourself. A razor, and then some iodine tablets. And iodine tablets are I've used these on trips where I've been in an area where there was a disaster and there was a boil warning and we had to boil water. So I was very luckily I had these iodine tablets on me. So even off trail, you can find use for water purification. And again, if you remember in the previous video, we didn't have any way to treat the water. Now, of course, we need, if you want to extend the ability to treat or have different options for treatment, because sometimes people are allergic to iodine, having a filter is great. These Sawyer filters are very inexpensive. They're not that great for hiking all the time, I don't believe, myself. But in a survival situation, certainly they work. In a disaster situation, they certainly work. And when you use it in conjunction with, say, something like a water bladder to extend your water carrying capacity, you can fill this with water and then use this as an inline filter with your bladder, drinking the filtered water. So that does work really well in an off-trail or hiking scenario. So city or on trail. In addition to the overnight stuff, I have a packed towel. You never know if you're going to have clean towels available to you. And if you're staying at someone's house unexpectedly, you might not want to put them out for sheets and towels. So you're going to have an extra towel with you is nice. An extra pair of socks. And then I like to carry most of my travel stuff in a dry bag. The dry bag gives me the ability to put, if there's anything wet, clothing, shell, swimsuit, things like that are wet, I can keep in there. I can keep my dirty shoes in there if I had an extra change of shoes and I wanted to keep my bag clean. But in addition to all that, I can keep all of the items that I have in, say, a heavy rain that I want to keep dry. So my first aid kit, my GPS, my phone, layers of clothing that I want in there that I want to keep dry. And then lastly, this works as a great wash tub for washing your clothes. So in addition to a sink in a hotel room, if you don't have that available, or you want to add more clothing to wash, then you can add all of the clothing you need and use this as a kind of a makeshift wash tub. And then finally, if you did need to carry additional water, you could certainly do that with a dry bag. So you could carry water from one location to the next for whatever reason. As far as layers go, additional layers, I like to carry a lighter weight, more kind of camouflage in case I'm off the trail, neck gaiter. So that supplements my merino wool neck gaiter. This is more for summertime use. It's a lot less, not as hot or warm. And then of course I like to have a shell that I can put on. I use this shell even off the trail. Say I'm concealed carrying. Maybe I find that the clothing that I'm wearing, I'm printing a little bit more and I want to have an additional layer of clothing. This is great. Maybe the area I'm at has bugs, or just like in Southern California in the evening where it gets a little chilly and you want to cut the chill, just putting on a light jacket does the trick. So because we're going overnight, we're going to have food. So I like MREs. I'm not stripping this down because I don't know what I'm going to need the food for. But this is pretty much good enough for a full day's worth of food. Certainly not 72 hours, but it's a good supplement or a good start to food choices. And since I'm not worried about weight at this point, because if I'm not going to need the food, I'm going to leave this in the car. Navigation. I have a map case that's great for keeping your maps in. Not something I want necessarily on a day-to-day basis, but could be helpful on a trail. I have my trail notebook, so additional writing utensils, navigation aids, things like that. A GPS. Certainly if the power or if the internet goes down and I need to get around, or I need to find my location, or all the other uses for a GPS, on trail or off trail, urban environment or the woods, GPS, having a handheld device is certainly helpful. I can preload this with safe houses, safe havens, areas to avoid. I can put all sorts of information on my GPS. To supplement fire, I have an additional lighter. You can never have enough lighters. They're cheap, they're light, they work, they're quick. No problem with that. And then of course a ferro rod to supplement that. For light and illumination, I have a proper headlamp, one that is LED. It flashes and it has a red light function so that it does not upset my night vision should I need that for whatever reason. So certainly something very handy to have with you in addition to your handheld flashlights. I also have a very small solo cook kit with a cup, a couple bowls, and a plate, and then a Lexan tablespoon to supplement that. And then this piece of gear I really like. It is it's a blaze panel, very small blaze panel that you can use for signaling. I find I use this hunting a lot, or if I'm hiking in an area where there might be hunting going on, so that people can see. If I do, or when I do shoot a deer, I like to put this up in a tree as a flag to let people know, especially if I'm in the brush where I like to hunt, that people might not be able to see me. And then we're canoeing. Sometimes it's hard to see a canoe across a lake, but you can always pull out a blaze panel and you can see that very, very easily. Now, if you don't want to be seen, it's camouflage in the back, and I can then kind of cover my pack and cache it somewhere out in the woods. And I've done that hunting again, where I don't want people to see my pack, or I want to keep it low key. Then I can certainly do that. I've added some Night Eyes S-beaners onto each one of these cords so that I can attach it easily to my pack. So I really like this. It's from Battle Systems, I believe, is the name of the company. Battle Systems. All right, and next I have a American flag patch. So I use this primarily to let people know that I'm an American when I'm traveling abroad when I want to. It's a Velcro, so I can take it off if I don't. But what I find it to be helpful is as a pointy talkie. So if I'm an American and I want to express that I speak English, I want to talk to an English speaker, or I need to go to the U.S. Embassy for whatever reason, I have this patch that I can point to, and this is a pretty iconic symbol. So people generally are going to know what you're talking about or what you need when you point to this, or who you are. So I kind of use it as kind of as a sort of escape and evasion technique while I'm traveling abroad, and it's just something that you could think about. I really like having a pair of binoculars when I'm on the trail. So likewise, while I'm in an urban area, plenty of opportunity to use binoculars. So when I do, I carry those on the outside of my pack when I know I need the binoculars. And then lastly, I believe, to double check here, the last thing is if I do need to carry more tools on me on a day-to-day basis, but I want to keep fairly low key, then I carry this. This is called the clutch belt from Unity Tactical. It's kind of like a bat belt in that it's a belt that has lots of pockets on it that I can carry first aid equipment, radio, knife, my concealed carry weapon. Now it gives me the ability to carry outside my waist using my inside waist holster. So I can instantly turn my inside the waist holster into an outside the waist carry. I can wear this on the outside of my clothing if I do not need to be in a concealed carry. Say I'm going to the range and I want to carry on the outside of my clothing, then I can certainly do that. I do have a video on this as a review in particular on YouTube's there for you guys. So with that, that is my service pack or 72-hour pack. Again, it's going to supplement my go bag or 10 or 12 to 24-hour pack. So everything that is here supplements that pack, and everything that's in that pack supplements this. And one of the nice things about the 511 Rush series is that the packs actually can be attached together. So I can empty one pack and carry the other pack in the pack and use the smaller pack as needed, repacking it when I need to. What I do find though is that when you do carry stuff in the pack, especially lots of stuff in the smaller pack, the B.O.B 10, it does get a little unwieldy and uncomfortable, so you definitely want to be able to put the stuff, especially the heavy items, into the main pack to make that functional. That is the service pack. If you've had any questions or comments, down below. You can add those down below and be on the lookout for a write-up on everything that we're talking about here today.